In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how to generate more leads for your website. So leads are very important. Think about it. If you have a shop or a small business and you're relying on people on the ground for your business, imagine this. If you can add email marketing to your business, you can now send promotions, coupon codes, or even deals on your website. So your website now starts acting as a marketing tool. Now, this is definitely going to increase your sales and also your leads. So I'm going to show you step by step how to set it up on your own website. So what we're going to use is a plugin called FluentCRM. FluentCRM is very powerful, and this plugin also stays on your WordPress website. So if you've heard of email marketing software, you've heard of ConvertKit, MailChimp, and so on, this tool does a similar job and even better. So I'm going to show you step by step how to set all this up on your website. But before we get started, I'd like to talk about the offer that I have for you. I have a 20% discount if you do decide to use FluentCRM. Link to that is in the video description below. But not only that, once you purchase FluentCRM, you also get access to my marketing automation course, a course that teaches you how to put all these tools together to form a fully functioning email marketing machine. All right, guys, without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. Okay, so we are here in our WordPress admin dashboard. So the first thing we need to do is to download and install FluentCRM. So I'm going to come over here to my plugins, click on Add New, search for FluentCRM. So here it is. I'm going to click on Install Now, and then I'm going to click on Activate. Okay, great. So FluentCRM has been installed. Now let's take a look and see what the dashboard looks like. So if I come over here now, I can click on Dashboard, and we're just going to do a walkthrough so I can show you how to set it all up and also see where all the features are. So here I need to go through and set my business information, lists, tags, and so on. I'm going to say not right now because I can always set them up as I go. So first of all, this is the main dashboard. So as you can see, it's very straightforward. Here is where all your subscribers show up. Now, here is where you have all your contacts. So the first thing I'll recommend you do is to create a brand new list. So I'll come over here to lists. Now let's give this list a name. So I'm going to call this promo, but of course you can call it whatever you want. So we're going to call this 50% off promo. Next, I'm going to hit confirm. Okay, excellent. So now that I have this in place, now let's take a look and see what else we have here. So here is where you would add all your email campaigns, but we're not going to take a look at that yet. So my main area that I really like here is the automations. So over here on the automations, we can create automation. So basically this is like running a machine, but behind the background, telling it to do all sorts of things. So it may be setting up triggers, setting up emails, and also telling you when to send emails out. Okay, so I'm going to click here on create new automation. So the only automations that we have here are the CRM, which is FluentCRM, and WooCommerce. So this is all you get. Now, if you wanted to do even more advanced automations, this is where you need the Pro version because it allows you to automate membership websites, learning management systems, and so on. It's very, very powerful. So what I'm going to do now is to install the advanced version because this is where all the features are, and this is where you get your 20% off. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. You can see on the bottom here, I've already gone ahead and downloaded it. So I am going to go back to my plugins, click on Add New, Upload. I'm going to drag it here, install, and that's all you need to do. And then finally, we just need to add our API key. So first of all, I'm going to activate the plugin, and I'm going to hit Activate, paste my license key, and verify license. Okay, great. So my license key is activated. I'm ready now to go in and start working. Okay, so I'm going to come back to my dashboard and go to automation so I can show you what else we have here. So now when I click on create new automations, if I have LearnDash installed or all these wishlist member and so on, they will start showing over here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to create our email campaign. So first of all, we need a landing page. So let's go ahead and create that. Now for this, I have Divi installed, but FluentCRM works with many page builders, and you can also use the Gutenberg editor. Okay, so let's create our page. So I'm going to come over here, click on Add New. So let's call this promo. I'm going to use the Divi builder for this. Click on Build from Scratch. And I'm going to start off with a single column. And in here, we're going to add a text module. And this is where we're going to add our title. Okay, so I'm going to set this to heading 2. And then I'm going to come over here to design, text, and I need to center this. And I also need to customize this text. So I'm going to change this from our normal font here to Poppins. There we go. I'm going to select it. Now I can also change the color here. But you know what? We're not going to change it here yet because we need to head over to our heading text. So this is where it is. And remember, we set this at heading 2. So now I'm going to set my color, and I'll also like to make this bold so it really stands out. And I think that's all right. I'm going to now save this. Next, I'm going to add my email opt-in. Click on this plus button. There we go. There's my email opt-in. Now it's time to customize this. So I'm going to delete the text here, and then I'm going to say enter your name and email below. Next, I am going to remove this background because I'm not really a fan of this background. So I'm going to come all the way down here and say no to use background. Now I'm going to come over to design, and we need to now customize this text. So first of all, I'm going to come over here to my main heading text, change this to Poppins. And I'm also going to change the color so it's easier to read. And for this, I am going to reduce the size a little bit to about, say, 22. Now for the layout, I would prefer to have my form below, the text above. So I'm going to come over here to layout, and I'm going to change this to body on top, form on the bottom, like that. Next, I can now go in and customize my form. So I'm going to start off with just adding a nice boundary so I can see where my form is. So I'm going to go to my border. So let's set our border here to about, say, 2 pixels. And I also need to change my color here. Now, let me just reduce my opacity here down a little bit. I think that looks okay. I'm happy with that. Now, this text here needs to be centered, and also this form looks way too big. So I'd also like to adjust that. So to adjust it, what I need to do is to go to sizing. So I am going to scroll down until I find sizing, and then I can just adjust my width here to about, say, 56%. I want to center the module, and this text over here also needs to be centered. So I'm going to come over here and let's center it. Okay, so that's looking much better now. Now over here on our exclusive discount, maybe it looks better if we make this text bigger. But before we do that, I'd like to go in here and make a few more adjustments. So here I can see we're collecting the last name. It is not necessary, but in your case, if you want to collect the last name, that's okay. But I need to remove that. So I'm going to come over here to my fields, remove the last name. So all I have now is first name and email. Finally, I'm just going to go in here and customize my text. So I'm going to scroll down here and go to my font. Choose Poppins, and that's much better. And I can also choose the color of the font, and pretty much that's about it. Okay, so back over here now. Remember, we installed FluentCRM. So this is where we can connect it by coming over here to email account, click on the drop down, and FluentCRM is right here. Next, I'm going to select my list. So I'm just going to say add. Now remember, we created our list earlier on. So I'm just going to call this promo 50 for 50%. I'm going to submit that. And then I can select my list, and you can see here my list is called promo. Now we created this earlier on. Okay, so now that I have this all set, I can now save this for now. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is just a few customizations here. So I'm going to go back into my main title here and change the size. So I know this is heading 2, so I'm going to make sure I've got heading 2 selected. Let's make this nice and big. There we go. And now we can save changes. Right, so let's pretend that this is a restaurant and we would like to do a promotion. So when they fill in their form, they need to get a coupon code. So I would like them to download the coupon code and then just show it when they come to the door. So let's just do a bit of design onto this. So I am going to now come over here, go to my background, and in my background here, I'm going to add an image. So I'm going to go to my third tab and add an image. So the image I'm going to add is something that relates to food. So this pizza here, let's have a look. it's okay, but it's making this a bit too busy. So what I may do is perhaps maybe have this form over here on the right, or just find a better image. So let's go and find a better image, because this one here is not too good. Okay, so I'm going to go to Pexels, search for restaurant. Okay, so let's go with this image here. I'm going to go ahead and download it. Now back over here on our site, I'm going to click on add image, upload file. I'm going to drag it over here, add image. Okay, so that's my image right here. So there's a few things I need to do to this to really make it blend into our design. So I'm going to add a gradient. So I'm going to come over here, click on the plus button. So my first color is going to be, in fact, both colors are going to be white. And then I'm just going to add transparency. So now that I've added both colors here as white, I'm going to come all the way down here and say place gradient above image. So now the whole image is covered. So I just need to come back over here and decide where I am going to have my transparency. So I'm going to come over here to my second color, and then I'm just going to drag a little bit so you can now see that a bit of my image there on the top is now showing, which is really cool. Next, I can also set my start position. So I can play around with this. Yeah, in fact, this is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go with about 74 and then save. So I've just added a bit of style to this page. Now all I have to do is to add my padding, which I can do by increasing this to about, say, 180. And that is our landing page. Now, if there's any other information or disclaimers you want to add, you can always add them here on the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is going to be a single column. Let's add our text module. Okay, so let's just label this disclaimer. I'm going to set this to maybe heading 4. And now let's go ahead and stylize this by coming over here to design, heading text. So I'm going to start here with the heading font. I'm going to change this to Poppins. Oops, I need to make sure heading 4 is selected. So now with that selected, let's turn this to Poppins. And I really want a light color here. I don't want everything to be like right in your face. So let's go with, okay, so I'm going to go with this as my color. Next, I need to center this. So I'm just going to make sure my text alignment is set to centered. And over here now on the text, same thing. I'm going to change this to Poppins and also change the color. Okay. I'm also going to center this by coming over here to text alignment. And now you can see that is centered. And for my font size here, I'm just going to bring this down to about 12. So that's looking great. I'm now going to save this. So this button here is not very clear. So let's go and create our button by going into my settings, design. And now we need to go into our button, activate use custom styles for button. And let's start off by adding our text color. We're going to make it white, but our background color here is going to be something that's really visible, that is easier to see. So here we have it set to subscribe, but we're going to change that text soon. And for my border width here, I'm going to set it to that. Now let's set our font and set it to Poppins. So what I'm also going to do here is to add an icon. So now you can see there, the icon is showing on hover, but I would like my icon to stay on. So I'm going to say no to this. So now you can see my icon now is going to be always there. Next, I'm going to come back over here to my content and just make sure that I have my text all set. So right now I've set it to subscribe. So I'm going to say get discount code. There we go. So I've got get discount code. So as soon as they enter their name and email address, boom, they're going to get the discount code. So that's pretty cool. So let us go ahead now and save this and just do a few more things. I think this is looking great actually. So what I need to do now is to remove the header and the footer, because ideally this as a promo page should not have a header and footer. Okay, so first of all, let's just set this to design spacing. So right now I have it at 180. So let's go with 8VW. Okay, so this will adjust very well on mobile devices. It's much better that way. Okay, now I can save this and that's looking pretty cool. All right, so save the page one more time. So what I'm going to do now is to go into my theme builder. So I'm going to come over here and open my dashboard in a new tab, and we're going to come all the way down here to Divi, click on a theme builder. Right, so I need a custom template. I'm going to click here on this plus button, and then you need to hover here where it says specific pages. And what we want here is the promo page. So I'm going to say create template, and I'm going to add this eye icon on the header and the footer. Okay, so I'm going to save changes. Now back over here, I'm going to preview by exiting my visual builder. And now you can see we don't have a header and footer to our design. And that is because we are controlling this page in the theme builder by not showing the header and the footer here by disabling that eye icon. So as you can see, this is very, very powerful. Now, this is something that you can do for a small business. Now, if you have Divi, this is one way that you can actually charge extra for your services by showing that you are growing these leads for your customers. Now, to bring traffic to this website, you can use several ways. You can use Facebook ads, you can use YouTube ads, or even organic traffic, or even blog traffic. So this is how you create your landing page. Now, remember, I spoke about the page that has the discount code, and ideally we want them to download it. So this is where I'm going to show you how to add a thank you page. So back onto our website, I'm going to go to my site here. So this time we want to create a thank you page. So I'm going to come over here to pages, click on add new. So here, I'm just going to call this thank you, use Divi builder. I'm going to build this from scratch, single column. And we are going to add a call to action for this. There we go. So now I can say, and for the button text, I'm going to say download discount code. So I'm just going to add a bit of text here. So let's save this for now, because what I'm going to do now is to add my file which has the download code. So this file could be anything, but the most important thing is it needs to be zipped so that it's easier to open. So what I'm going to do is to add it onto my site. So I'm going to open this in a new tab, and then I need to go to media, click on add new. And then I can select my file here. And now I know my file is on the desktop. So I'm going to come over here to my desktop. And this is it. I'm going to double click on it. So I'm going to click on edit because I need the URL of this file and we can find it here. So I'm going to copy it to clipboard, and then I'm going to go back to my page. So the page I was working on is the thank you page. So I'm going to say edit with Divi. And then I'm going to go back into my call to action. So what we need to do here is to go to our button. So I'm going to come over here to link. So I'm going to add my button URL here, and now you can see the button is now showing. So you can leave this background as it is, but ideally you want to just stylize this and make it look nice. So let's change our font here to Poppins, and let's change all the colors. Okay, now let's go to the paragraph text. Same thing, change this to Poppins, and we're going to change the color. And then finally we have our button here. Let's activate use custom styles for button, change the text color. And then I just need to remove this background by coming over here. So now we have our text. So just like how we did before, I'm just going to come over here and give this a bit of padding. So I'm going to go to design, spacing. Let's go with 8 VW, both for the top and the bottom. So we're going to save this. So now I am going to go to my theme builder and do the same like we did. Remove the headings. So I'm going to click on this plus button and specific page, and it's the thank you page. So we're going to create. And again, I'm just going to remove the header and the footer. Save changes. And now let's refresh this. In fact, we need to exit the visual builder, save and exit. And now when we click on this, this should give us the discount code. Right, so we're not done yet. There's one more part that is very important, and that is we need to make sure that when people leave their name and email address, it is going to send them to the thank you page. So let me show you how to customize that. So I'm going to come over here to enable builder, and this is the final step, by the way. I know this has been quite long. Okay, so I'm going to go into my email opt-in settings, scroll all the way down here to success action. So all I have to do now is to click on this drop down, redirect URL, And this is our thank you. In fact, we can just copy the URL and paste it here. So this is our thank you page. Save that and exit the visual builder. Okay, so now when we add our first name, email address, and click on get discount, this will now take us to our thank you page. And when you click here, you can see now it's downloaded our file, and that is the file that your customers will bring to at the door when they come to claim their discount. So as you can see, it's very, very powerful, very easy to set up. So I'll highly recommend you set this up for your own website. All right, guys, that's all I have for you in today's video. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one. Take care.